Well, one person goes to the hospital after a crash at 90th and West Dodge. It was early this morning. Police say a car ran a red light. It was around 1 o'clock in the morning, slamming into another driver. Investigators are looking into whether drunk driving was a factor. The driver's injuries are not known. The other person, though, went to the hospital with minor injuries.
Well, things are heating up in a tight political fight, the race for a seat in the United States Senate.
We asked Senator Deb Fischer about refusing to debate with Dan Osborne. KETV News Watch 7's Alex McLoone is live in the newsroom.
Julie, Rob, we have both candidates talking about the issues in separate sit-downs. Independent candidate Dan Osborne participating in a 30-minute town hall with registered voters. We invited Senator Fischer on multiple occasions, but then deferred her time to Osborne. The incumbent senator did agree to a one-on-one interview with us. Rob got a chance to ask why Fischer will not go face-to-face with her opponent.
You know, I respect my Democrat friends who don't hide who they are.
Why not point that out to them face to face?
You know, people know where I stand on the issues. I have a record of voting in the Nebraska unicameral in the United States Senate.
Does she have a point?
No, I don't believe she does. I've been a registered independent from the time I could register to vote. There's a lot of mudslinging going on right now, and I think that's because, you know, the polling data indicates that I'm polling ahead.
One of the most recent polls from Survey USA has Osborne ahead by 1 point. That was last month. Right now, Osborne was shaking hands in Crete today, while Fischer's campaign says she's now heading out to West Nebraska to attend some events this week. Coming up at 10 tonight, we'll have more on where the candidates stand on inflation, abortion, and the war in the Middle East. Julie, back to you.
Still lots to talk about. Thanks, Alex. Well, some would call today porch weather, and if you don't have a porch, you could have headed to Porch Fest. The annual event brings local artists of all forms into Omaha, features more than 70 performers of music, poetry, art, and dance across 12 stages, most of them around Gifford Park at 33rd and California. Local vendors also came out to the free event. There was even an open mic event so that aspiring artists could become stars in Midtown.
I think our hope now is just to have not a blade of grass visible in these front porches throughout every single performance. You know, we have maybe 25 to 50 people at a porch, but I would love it to where it's just standing room only.
Organizers say that Porch Fest is a one-stop shop to support local artists.
Such a great idea, too. Hey, next here at 9, we're going to take you to Southeast, where they recover from one hurricane, prepare for another.
You're going to meet a handful of neighbors in North Carolina who became heroes in a time of need. Hurricane Helene recovery continues for much of the southeast while Florida braces for Hurricane Milton. The death toll is now at 227. The search for unaccounted people is ongoing.
Yeah, rescue efforts have bonded communities, made heroes out of neighbors. ABC's Gio Benitez reports.
They answered the call. Neighbors helping neighbors. Sfia Trumbly and Jacob O'Connor jumping into action, grabbing their kayak when they heard that hurricane floodwaters trapped a family on the second floor of their home outside Asheville.
I'll never forget Mom's face in that moment.
As the family rushed to evacuate, you can see 9-month-old Leela being handed out of the window.
I think all of us did not breathe at that moment until that baby made it to shore. It's a feeling that I can't explain, I think, in any kind of way.
Thankfully, Leela and her family are now safe. Her mom is grateful. Everyday heroes emerging in the wake of Helene's wrath. Eddie Hunter answering the call too.
There was a quick split second where I thought, do I really want to do this? And I thought, I don't have a choice.
That's him on the canoe with the yellow life vest racing to rescue 67-year-old Leslie Worth, who was trapped in her home as it was carried downstream.
We yelled over to Leslie, if the house starts moving, you need to jump out downstream. I had to yell about 5 times because the river was so loud.
Leslie in the raging river. Eddie jumping out of the canoe, grabbing the back of her life vest.
I told her, you know, I've got you. I asked her to kick to keep her feet up so they didn't catch on anything below. And I just said, we just got to ride out this fast area.
Making it back to shore, the pair seen here embracing their loved ones. Now bonded for life. They did not hesitate from the ground to the skies. Former NASCAR driver Greg Biffle, also a helicopter pilot.
I've got people calling me out of everywhere, wanting to help and wanting to send their pilot and their helicopter in to help us on the ground.
He's flown countless missions over the last week in the remote mountain areas of North Carolina. Like this one man catching their attention from the forest below.
I just caught out of the corner of my eye at the very bottom of this ravine of this 4,000-foot mountain, the flash of the mirror.
Biffle making a daring landing, delivering desperately needed insulin and baby formula to the man and his family.
As soon as the sun rises in the morning, we're going to be off the ground and looking for you.
Some dedication.
That's right. People are good. They step up and help each other out, and hopefully they won't be having to do that with Milton.
No, yeah, right. There's a new hurricane. Now, this is going to hit Florida, but it doesn't look like it's headed up into the areas of North Carolina that were hit so hard by Helene. We have just the opposite. No rain, no clouds, and now a spectacular day on the way for Monday. A rain factor of 9. In fact, I really believe we're going to have a top 10 day, but we never call it ahead of time. That's bad luck and poor form. 72 and 44. Today's temperature is really pretty close to the averages here for early October, and no moisture. None for the month. We were driest September on record, and this is amazing to me. We are soon to be below average moisture year to date, when earlier in this summer we were 5 inches above average moisture. That's our camera at the new H&H Auto out there along I-80 at about 148th Street or so. It's 55, clear skies, little light north breeze. Temperatures already at 50 in Denison, Harlan, Atlantic, and Tacoma, Columbus. Calm winds, a lot of spots, just a tiny little north breeze and no rain. There's dual pole Super Doppler 7 radar. No clouds within 500 miles of Omaha, Nebraska right now. It's amazing. That's what Rob was talking about. That is Hurricane Milton now. And the problem when you get a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico is that it has to hit something. There's no way out of the Gulf without it causing some huge issues. The 7 o'clock advisory has it becoming a Category 4 major hurricane by Tuesday in the southern Gulf of Mexico. And then the computer models say it's going to approach the coast around Tampa or Bradenton or Sarasota, somewhere in there on Wednesday, but maybe weaken slightly because of wind shear in the atmosphere. We'll see, though. I mean, that's going to be a nasty storm surge for that west coast of Florida. Here, truly spectacular weather on the way for the day Monday. High pressure overhead tonight, tomorrow morning, light winds, sunny skies, beautiful day. And then tomorrow night, mostly clear skies. And Tuesday, another beautiful day. You may get a little bit of a southeast breeze and ground so dry, air so dry, maybe we make up in the lower 80s for a high. 40 for the low tonight. Clear skies really cooling off. Monday, it'd be a cool start, but light winds and just delightful at lunchtime and through the afternoon. And we can't guarantee it a top 10 day, but it is a money back guarantee on the nice weather for your outdoor activities on Monday. 81 for Tuesday, and then look at that, 86, 87, 89 for highs on Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. The impact icon Friday, probably going to have some high fire danger if we get any kind of a breeze blowing, as dry as it is and is going to be.
Could continue for a while, too.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks, Bill.
All right, coming up in sports, Nebraska's 5-1 on the season. Andy Kendi, Sean Callahan are going to give their grade.